Hey, good morning. Dr. Sean J. Harris here at Generational Wealth Academy. Let's talk about the power of compounded education. Now, many times we hear people talk about compounding interest, which is said to be the eighth wonder of the world. If you really understand how interest works, simple interest plus the difference between compounded interest. The way you can figure out interest in a product is, or how fast you'll be able to pay something off based on interest rate, is you take your interest rate divided by 72. That's called the rule of 72. Well, the same holds true for compounded education. Think about how many times you can educate yourself through reading, through mentorship, through coaching, through exposure and experiences. Let me share with you one way that I compound my book reading. When I typically read a book, I think I've probably read over close to 1,500 books in my lifetime. But what I do is when I read a book, I highlight it. I highlight with red, underline, and then I go back at a later date and I may read that book again, maybe a year later, a couple years later, but I only read the highlights. And then I make new highlights with perhaps a highlighter pen in yellow. And then maybe a couple months or years later, I go back and I read those highlights. So what I'm doing is I'm able to read the book multiple times, but doing it in a Cliff Note style each additional time, which compresses time. I've learned so much from the book before, then I pick up new insights as I continue reading the highlights. So that gives me the ability to compound my education through speed and being able to read books at a faster rate. So that's one of the things that I would implore for you to do, is to be able to compound your education, stack information on top of information, and that will help you expedite and learning process at a much quicker rate. So hope that helped out somebody. I'm gonna go out here and take this walk. It's a beautiful morning here, the birds out here. So I think it's like 280 days left to achieve your 2022 goals. Time is running out. Let's go.